Hello everyone, Sidanet here with another update from the Avalanche ecosystem. Today, another very special video because we have Mr. Dukcbill from the Platypus team right here with us. Hi, Mr. Dukcbill.
Hey, hello, Sidanet. So nice to meet everyone here as well. My name is Mr. Dukcbill, and I'm the founder of Platypus Finance. I was actually also an Avalanche OG. So I've been watching your video since a long time ago as well.
That's awesome.
Really nice to meet everyone here.
Yes, awesome. Then before we really get into the interview, I want to put a quick disclaimer that as part of Avalanche, we have invested in Platypus as well. So just for everyone to be aware that we may be incentivized to make Platypus really look good. But of course, this is going to be mostly informational. And I think we're going to have a really good time. With that said, Mr. Dukcbill, why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself and the Platypus team?
Yeah, sure. So about myself, right? As I mentioned, I'm Avalanche OG. I knew Avalanche long time ago when you first published the white paper. I'm really fascinated by this new consensus algorithm, and therefore I've been participating in the ICO and following the projects very closely since then. And before I found Platypus, I had worked in TradFi, and then afterwards I worked in a crypto exchange for a few years, and that's why I've really been keeping an eye on the crypto space development, which I found Avalanche. Platypus is really a project that combines both my previous knowledge and experience from the TradFi industries as well as from the crypto industries.
Yeah.
And regarding my team, right now we are a team of around 10 people. We have Mr. Beaverdale, which is our lead smart contract developer, and Mr. Octafoot, which is in charge of marketing and operations. We are a small team, but definitely we are really passionate about what we are doing.
Awesome. If I may ask, how did you come up with the name Platypus, and then you all named yourself for different parts of a platypus, or?
Actually, in fact, we come up with the project name first, which is Platypus, and then because we have a three key person in the team, and that's why we split the name by different parts of Platypus to name ourselves. We do have reasons behind why we named the projects as Platypus, but that's related to the future roadmap of the project. So allow me to keep it secret at this moment. You will know about why we name it like this in the future.
Awesome. Okay, little cliffhanger. Good.
Yeah.
And then instead, why don't you tell me a bit more about Platypus and what it does, and why are you building it?
Yeah, sure. That's a lot of questions, right? First of all, Platypus is a new kind of AMM. In fact, a special kind of AMM called the Stableswap. If you don't know what is Stableswap, it's like a special kind of AMM that is specific for stablecoin trading or more generally asset trading. So traditional AMMs like Uniswap or Trader Joe use an AMM algorithm that's called constant product market maker, but that's more expensive and not suitable for asset trading. Platypus implemented a new kind of a Stableswap that make us a direct competitor to the older generation like the Curve. We have invented the new Stableswap that is based on a concept called asset liability management. So we believe that this approach has a few advantages compared to existing Stableswaps. First of all, sometimes in other Stableswap, when you provide liquidity in pairs, you may suffer from large penalty. Or for example, if you deposit a USDT into the pool, because of the pool composition may change, and when you try to withdraw your token, you may get another token instead, for example, USDC. In Platypus, we enable single-side liquidity provision. You will get exactly what you have deposit when you try to withdraw your token, thanks to our new AMM mechanism based on asset liability management. So secondly, in older Stableswap, their equilibrium condition is defined by where all the tokens in the pool need to have the same amount of liquidity. So it suffers from a problem that it cannot easily add new asset into the existing pool. Because, for example, if the new asset is less popular than the other assets in the pool, so this will pull down the equilibrium condition for the whole pool. So in Platypus, we calculate the equilibrium condition by coverage ratio, which is defined by asset divided by liability. So we can get rid of constraints of the old Stableswap invariant and allow the tokens to grow naturally based on its demand and supply. So because of this, we can easily add or remove new asset into existing pool, making the protocol more scalable than its other its peers. So besides, I think another very important reason for me to launch Platypus in the Avalanche ecosystem is because that sometimes when people debate around Ethereum and Avalanche, they will say that, projects on Avalanche are just a box of Ethereum. So I really dislike this narrative, and I want to bring something that is different and innovative to the Avalanche ecosystem. So we developed our new algorithm, and this project you can only find it on Avalanche, but not on any other blockchain, including Ethereum.
Awesome. That's a great reason to build on Avalanche. And indeed, people have been. I've heard the same argument as well, right? A lot of things on Avalanche are forks, and I've been saying for like basically since I've heard of you guys, I've been saying I'll just wait for Platypus, and there's a couple others, of course, that are coming live as well that are also doing really cool stuff. So really happy to have you. You mentioned. Sure. Yep. You mentioned that the Stableswap, the Platypus Stableswap works on coverage ratio. Could you elaborate a little bit? Like how does it work?
Yeah, sure, no problem. So coverage ratio is a concept coming from the traditional finance world, which is defined by asset divided by liability. So all other existing AMM are only caring about the asset itself, where they call it the liquidity. So they will not record liability for the protocol. So in this essence, like when you provide the liquidity to this AMM, so they will change its composition because people are trading in these Stableswaps, in these like AMMs, and like they really don't know how much you have been. They really don't know which token you have been providing because in these pools there are many different assets. And then once you have put your liquidity inside the pool, it just becomes a portion in the pool, and it will not know which token you have been providing. So because Platypus record liability, it knows exactly what token you have been providing and how much you have been injected. So when you withdraw your liquidity, we will know exactly how much we need to return to you in the same token that you've been providing. So yeah, that's an innovation that we have. So we can enable single-side liquidity provision.
Awesome. I think that's a great feature. It's always really annoying when you put a token into a pool, right? And then you get like 4 different tokens back and you're like, well, yeah, that's not exactly what I needed.
Yeah.
Soon you will be launching your Alpha Mainnet. I think the pools are limited for at 2.5 million for each token. Can you tell us a little bit more about what the Alpha Mainnet is about and how is it going to work?
Yep, sure. Our Alpha Mainnet will be live on 29th of November. So this is important because we invented something that is entirely new, right? So it's good to have innovation, but we also look that innovation means it's more risky for our project, right? Because our algorithm are not yet tested on mainnet. So we don't know whether when this goes into the wild, whether it will still be secured or not, because new things come with risk. It can get hacked, or maybe our concept is some false. We don't know. Even we tried our best to ensure it's secure, but it won't be battle tested until we put that on the mainnet. And that's why we have this Alpha Mainnet launch. And then we want to control the risk. And that's why we have limited the the total TVL that we accept in this protocol. So at this moment, we are only accepting 4 tokens, which are USDT, USDC, DAI, and MIM. And we have limited the liquidity for each of the token at 2.5 million. So in total, we have around 10 million in our protocol. So we believe that this will be a reasonable amount of liquidity to put the project onto the mainnet to let it be better tested, as well as to control the risk to a certain level. So even something really bad happen, like at least the risk, like the losses for the people won't be that big.
It makes sense. And I think I read you are also working on being audited, right? You're not completely audited yet, but you
Yes.
have ongoing.
So right, we have engaged the 2 auditors for our project. The first one is Hecken, and second one is Omnisure. So Hecken has already completed their audit, and Omnisure is still in progress. But like the audit should be ready by like early December.
Cool. And then back to the Alpha Mainnet, like you have limited liquidity pools. Will there be rewards for people providing liquidity in these liquidity pools?
So right now, there are no incentives to be announced. Of course, we may have virtual airdrop to the liquidity providers, but that's something we are still considering and like are planning. So, but at least like what we want to do is to really put that on the mainnet to make it better tested, and like you should really do this at your own risk, because like your money can be lost. And it's possible that at the end we don't have any airdrop to the participant as well. So do it at your own risk.
Gotcha. So it's really for people who really want to play a part in helping Platypus find out like how well does the product work, iterate on it, and then hopefully find that it's completely secure, and then launch a really new, unique app on the Avalanche ecosystem.
Exactly.
The airdrop, which is maybe not coming, maybe is coming. I assume it will be in the PTP token. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that token does, and is there any way for people right now to get it?
Okay, sure. So I mean, everyone wants to ask what is the tokenomics and like token utility, and that's really an important question to be a long-term holder as well. You want to make sure the token has some value behind that. So we have in fact just published our new liquidity mining paper and proposal. So you can find that easily on our social media, and I really encourage you to take a look. So in short, we have referenced the curves VECRE mechanism and invented our own PTP token. So although like the philosophy behind is similar, but our inner mechanics is completely novel and different to curve. So in short, what the VPTP token does is that it allows you to boost your liquidity mining yield by staking the PTP token. So it's a function that is depending on time. So the longer that you have been staking the PTP token, the more the VPTP token that you can get, and the higher the yield that you can get by yield farming as well. So it's an important like function to prevent mercenary capital, which means that whales farm and dump the governance token. So with the design of ePTP, if you want to really farm more PTP token, you must stake the PTP token at first. So make sure at least the incentive is aligned. So if you want to farm more, you have to have a skin in the game as well. And besides the PTP token inside, PTP token, of course, can be used for like revenue sharing or voting in the future as well. And we have some interesting plan to add more utility to the PTP token in the coming months too. So make sure that you keep an eye on it, but allow me to keep the secret for now.
It's cool. It's cool to have some secrets is kept as well. I think that's yep. New for this channel, but I must say it does make me a little bit excited.
That's true. Thank you.
When you're talking about like it's based on curve, are we at risk of or at risk? Is there a chance that we'll see anything like the curve wars play out on with Avalanche or with Platypus on Avalanche? The Platypus wars.
Sorry, the curve war?
The curve wars. It's like people are bribed for their fee curve, I think, to move the incentives around for curve. It's okay if you've not.
You mean convex?
Yeah, something like that. I think I've not been. I'm not. I admit, for people at home, I'm not extremely active on Ethereum, but I've read a little bit about the curve force, and I know it has something to do with the fee curve token.
Oh, I see. Oh, the V curve token. I got it. Yes, so we have the V PTP token. That's the same for the V curve.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have similar things that you can do like curve. So for V curve, people will use that to vote on the curve factories. So when they want to list their own stablecoin on curve, they will incentivize their CRV mining to this boost. So for PTP, we have something similar. So if you have the VPTP token, you can use them to vote to list which stablecoin you want to put inside the pool. So for example, there is a new stablecoin launch on Avalanche, and you want them to be listed on Platypus and being incentivized by PTP yield farming, then you can do that by the voting in the future.
Perfect. Yes, that's I think what the curve bars are about.
Yep. Exactly.
Speaking of Avalanche and like other apps that may release their own tokens, and of course apps that currently have stable tokens in their AMMs or apps, what is the role of Platypus in the wider Avalanche ecosystem? Will it be very interconnected with other apps? Will it be, you already said it will be competing with some apps. Like, where do you see it positioning itself?
Yeah, sure. So being an Avalanche OG, I'm of course really supportive on the Avalanche ecosystem, and we want to keep ourselves as down to earth as possible. So that means that we try to partner with whatever good projects on Avalanche. So we already have a few partnerships that are behind the scenes. We are also working with a lot of blue chips DeFi projects on Avalanche. Mm-hmm. So I think a big thing that Platypus will do in the future is to support more native stablecoin on Avalanche, as well as a synthetic asset on Avalanche. I think one thing that the Avalanche eco is still lacking, which is quite a surprise, is a native and dominant Stableswap. So I'm aware that there are Gondola or Snowball, and where Snowball recently spin off Astro as a Stableswap. But I think they lack the necessary liquidity for a Stableswap. And we see them outside commerce Curve are actually playing the role in the Avalanche ecosystem. But I believe that such a native Stableswap is still very important for the ecosystem, because it's an essential infrastructure to allow more native stablecoin and more synthetic assets to thrive. So in the future, Platypus will play an important role in this regard, where we'll support wherever these projects are launching.
Gotcha. And I quickly want to go back, because I realized we quickly want to go back to the Platypus token, the PTP token, because I realized I don't think I got a complete answer to this question. How can people get the PTP token? Because currently the alpha testnet will not be incentivized, right? Will there be another way later for people to acquire it?
Yeah, sure. So for sure, we will have our IDO on in the future on Avalanche. Mm-hmm. So this is planned something really soon, maybe December. So you can keep an eye on that. That will be the first chance for you to acquire some PTP token. And in the future, when we launch the beta launch with liquidity mining, of course, you can use liquidity mining to acquire PTP token as well.
Yeah, cool. So Avalanche and then liquidity mining as soon as it's up. If people participate in the Alpha Mainnet, will that pool transition into the full mainnet, or will they at some point have to withdraw and redeposit, or have you not thought of that yet?
Probably they will be the same pool, but I won't say that's 100% because things
depends how well it goes. I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Cool, makes sense. So potentially for people wanting to be really early, they should definitely play around with the Alpha Mainnet, I guess.
I believe so.
I think so as well. I think I'm curious if the 2.5 million will be filled up very quick or not, but I guess that's something we'll have to see.
Yeah, sure.
Because you did have a testnet going on already, right? So you must have some idea of like how quickly. I mean, testnet tokens are different, of course, but you know how many people interacted with the testnet, I guess.
Yes, but like testnet, we mentioned that there are incentive and also the tokens are fake, right? So
Yeah.
we are not sure about the mainnet. Of course, we hope that this will be popular, but like we'll see in a few days.
I get yeah, tomorrow by the time of recording, I guess, right?
Yes, correct. I'm quite nervous and excited about this,
Well, thank you for taking time out to talk to us right now. I think
Yeah.
that's really appreciated. Um,
Yeah.
what are the next big steps and milestones for people to look out for, and with regards to Platypus?
Yeah, sure. So again, all these are secret. So why we are doing this like that is a reason behind. A lot of times we see the projects like they have a long roadmap plan ahead, and they all announce this at the beginning of the project. And okay, people see this project, they get hyped it, and then like they buy the token, and then they participate in the project. But then later on, like as the project down the road, like people just forgot about this project, and sometimes they don't even like realize the roadmap. So we want to avoid this because we really want to the Platypus is success in the long term, and we are in it for the long game. So what we are planning for our projects that we want the community to join and evolve together with Platypus. So we intended to keep things secret for this reason. And in fact, we already have a very long roadmap planning ahead. So like the current things that we are working on and to be announced soon is already fully packed for the coming 5 months. So you can expect that like after our launch for the coming 5 months, every month or maybe even weeks, there will be some announcement that we are going public for the project. So there are even something that is under active research and development that we are planning. So what I can say is just that really follow us and keep an eye on us. I'm sure that you will be surprised by what we have been keeping behind the scenes.
It sounds very very exciting. I'm curious, like 5 months ahead is a lot, because indeed I was talking to another project earlier this week, and they also said, yeah, we don't have a roadmap because like in crypto, like everything moves so fast, like you cannot even predict what will happen 2 weeks from now, let alone months. So yeah, but I'm quite excited to hear that you've already got some ideas for the coming months and features like already worked out. So, and of
Yep,
course,
sure. Yep.
and research going on for like more. So that's amazing. We've already like addressed this question a little bit, but for people who want to, who are really excited and want to be a part, want to support kind of the first, or one of the first at least, unique native to Avalanche stable swaps. So it's the first unique stable swap for sure. How can people get involved?
So first of all, just follow our update on social media. So we have active community on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. And we also organize different campaigns time to time. So you can join and participate in this campaign. So besides, of course, like participate in our mainnet Alpha launch, which will come tomorrow. So you can really try our product and see whether like it's something that's good or not. And yeah, I think that's all. And keep an eye for our update. So we have a lot of things planning ahead.
Amazing. I think I need to swap into some stables because I'm terribly over leveraged on AFEX at the moment. But I'm looking forward to participate at least, and I hope. Yeah, I really have big hopes. First of all, for this app, and I think it could be a huge success. Like I said, the first one of the first unique apps, and a new version of the stable swap that's also completely new to Avalanche. Plus, I think launching via Avalanche is always great. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Thank you.
With that said, do you have any final thoughts you want to share with the community before we call it?
Yeah, no. Follow us and come together to evolve with us. We are all in the same boat. And we all hope that the Avalanche ecosystem can be bigger and stronger than ever.
Amazing thoughts. Yeah, bigger and stronger Avalanche ecosystem. I think that's a great thing to do it for. Then for everybody at home, thank you so much for watching. Participate, or if you want to participate in the Platypus mainnet, Alpha Mainnet, launching tomorrow at the time of recording, but it may be very soon by the time that this video goes live, of course. So keep an eye out on their socials. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. And goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.